So if you caught my Does Deja Vu have anything to do with reincarnation video, you'll appreciate this follow-up. So in part one, we discussed how the ancient Egyptians believed that once you die or transcend, your spiritual body continues on to an afterlife, very similar to the living world that we're in now. However, entry into this afterlife was not guaranteed. The dead had to negotiate a dangerous underworld journey and face the final judgment before they were granted access. So, we already talked about what happens to a virtuous soul after the weighing of the heart ceremony, but what happens to a soul that's not virtuous? Well, stick around and you're going to find out. But first, I'm Ashley Anye, and welcome back to Anye's Intuitive. And that's Anye. I'm going to say it again. Anye, like Kanye. Now let's get it. Okay, so in part one, we learned that the ancient Egyptians believed that once you cross over, you begin the journey to the afterlife. And this is where you got to witness all that crazy ish fire spitting dragons, serpents, and you basically have to fight your way out of that. Now, if you make it through that, you then arrive at the Hall of Osiris, where the weighing of the heart ceremony takes place. And this is where a person's heart was placed on a scale, counterbalanced by a feather, represented by Mayet, the goddess of justice and truth. So if the heart was equal in weight to the feather, the person was justified and received immortality, which is what? Eternal life. But if not, the person was devoured by the goddess Emet. And this goddess sat beside the scale that was represented by Mayet. So, what exactly happens to the souls that are deemed unworthy? According to ancient Egyptians, those unfortunate enough to fail the judgment of the dead, so they failed the weighing of the scales. Their heart was heavier than the feather, represented by Mayet. Those who failed it suffered a second death and had no chance of a blissful life. Instead, their souls are roaming restlessly for all eternity. And maybe this is why houses are haunted. Y'all ever think about that? Like, these energies really have no place to go. Like, they're stuck here. And so because they feel some type of way, they want to torment you because they can't leave anywhere. They can't go nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? Petty. And the whole scale thing just makes me think of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when they were weighing the eggs, the good and the bad eggs. And then a little girl got on the scale and her ass flopped. But I just feel like they always put the truth in movies. They always do that. So it sounds like the goddess Amet was not to be with. She was a personification of all that the ancient Egyptians feared. And a reminder to live by the principles of Mayet. And if y'all don't know what those principles are, it's like an extended version of the 10 Commandments. I'm going to link that down below. But according to ancient Egyptians, each soul was given ample enough time to defend their actions before they were basically co-signed to doom. So what do y'all think about these ancient Egyptian practices? So you really believe everything we've done will have to be held accountable for? Does that make you think twice about doing the right thing? Or you just don't give up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this content and you want to see more content like this, drop that down in the comments. All right. And until next time, hope y'all like part 2. Peace.